Hey, how's it going? My name is jackiefishhh and welcome back to another custom map siege battle for Total War Warhammer 2. In today's battle, we have the Dark Elves trying to extinguish the High Elf flame at the Tower of Hoeth. And this map is really good. I definitely enjoy it a ton. And I love the way that this map has these red carpet stairs leading up to the inner city and where the defenders will be making their last stand. I think it's really cool the way the modder has kind of created this. There's loads of little avenues, and I also love this overlook right here as the attackers come up to siege the wall, and then we'll have archers piling down arrows upon the attackers. It's going to be really cool to see. So yeah, overall a really awesome map. Again, it's just kind of, it's very simple, but it definitely gets its point across. There's not like a million different entrances. At the end of the day, this is a fortress, so it should be defended. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one pans out. We do have close to, or just over 11,000, we have over 12,000 soldiers in this battle. So it's going to be pretty hectic. We are playing large armies. Again, 12,000 doesn't seem like too much now that Skaven Labs is out, but obviously that is a ton. This is being recorded before any patches or anything, so maybe optimization hasn't made its way through yet, but it should be a really insane battle. If you guys want to play with any of the mods that are being used in this battle, I'll make sure to link it down below in the description. So just quickly running through the armies of the Dark Elves. On the front line, we have a load of bleak swords. This is going to be making up the main kind of front line and I guess almost meat shield for the Dark Elves. They also have some dread spears back here. They also have some war hydras along with some dark shards with shields. That's obviously going to help them out away from the high elf missiles. We also have some repeater bolt throwers along with a ton of executioners and also some witch guards and dark shards. We also have some witch knights. These guys look really good. Going back again, we continue to have some more executioners, and then finally just some more witch knights. So overall, a pretty nice army here. We also obviously have dragons and stuff like that. But I'm only quickly, roughly going over the army comps. We also over on this right flank have kind of a smaller vanguard force of just shards with great weapons. And these guys are going to be really impactful if they can get around the side and maybe start harassing the defenders. Then taking a look quickly, as we'll go on to slow-mo, why not? Taking a look at the defenders on their front line, they have a bunch of the Sea Guard trying to hold the walls and obviously pick away at the attackers as best as they can. Going back at the gate, we have some pikemen who are armored. Again, I really like their crisp armor. Very nice. Continuing to go back, we do have some Grass Warriors, however you pronounce that. I know that's a place in the Ulf one, but it looks cool nonetheless. Continuing to go back. Then we also have some claw. It's actually a battery. So one of the things that I think the Glory mods does is it adds batteries into the game, meaning you just get a ton of these artillery pieces in one go. We also have some more archers up here with Golden Company. As well as Golden Company's a Dog of War mercenary regiment of like, I swear it's just like of Empire soldiers. We also have some highborn spearmen. These guys look really cool. I love their shields and how colourful they are. And then continuing to go back up to the upper layer, we do obviously have some more of the elite units of Sisters of Avalon who are going to be pouring down arrow fire as the attackers try and make their way up this huge staircase, just winding everywhere. It's going to be a hard fight for them. There's also obviously some of the Phoenix champions here as well. Always a really cool looking unit. And then finally just some more white lions and other stuff up there. So cool, without further ado, let's just jump straight into the battle. Obviously there will be more units I've missed, but I never really like to run through everything in the unit comps because it just kind of takes way too long. So at the beginning of the battle, we can see that all the archer fire coming in is just going to incinerate this front line being sent up by the Dark Elves. But again, this front line is more of just like a meat shield more than anything else. I can't imagine they're really expecting to make their way to the walls. But as long as they can get up there and they can go ahead and maybe put the ladders up on the walls, I think that's all you can really ask of them. We're also getting the wall being destroyed as well by the repeater bolt throwers back here. And if these repeater bolt throwers can make a hole or two in the walls, it's going to make the siege much easier. Because again, you know, this is really only one part of a wall. Now, obviously, going back up the red carpet and stuff, there's going to be, you know, a hard fight ahead of them. Lots of choke points. However, if they can take this courtyard, I think that's going to heavily reduce the damage that they'll normally take. They also decided to push up their line of archers, along with a dragon as well. This is not a bad idea. We also get a really good pit of shades. This is definitely going to rip through the pikemen. You can already see their HP going down. It's not actually really affecting much of this unit. It's doing a little bit of damage, but nothing too crazy. I was definitely expecting a bit more damage on the side unit, but I mean, taking out half of this unit of pikemen is really good. And they finally managed to get these ladders on the wall, which I think is the most important thing. Getting the ladders on the wall is great news. fort wall is down to 60%. The gate is almost destroyed as well. So the ladders are up. Again, this is like a glitch with most custom maps at the moment, is ladders don't appear. However, I kind of like it for some factions. I don't quite like it for the Dark Elves. I feel like the Dark Elves should definitely have ladders. But for like the Orcs and more of the savage factions and like the skeletons as well, I really like the idea of them just climbing up the wall. I think it just really fits the Orc style of battle. We do have this this black dragon making his way down and taking out the battery, which is really smart of him. Stopping this, 12 bolt throwers from shooting is going to really benefit the battle, that is for sure. The gate has now been destroyed as well. I'm sure we're going to be seeing a whole range of soldiers pouring forward as we are getting a nice little change of men. The Sea Guard are retreating back and the Spearmen are moving up. Hydra moving forward now as well into the front lines. The good thing is a lot of these archers still have a lot of ammunition left. As you can see, these guys, they're just that good at archers, they don't even need to see what they're shooting at. There's just so many enemies, they just know they need to just throw off as many arrows over the side here as possible. And I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea right now for the forces of the Dark Elves to send a dragon or two over here. Because there's not really much in the way of support for these guys. And you would silence all of these missiles. Oh, we're about to get a nice little chill wind by the looks of it. Oh no, Flaming Skull. Yeah, that's going to do a lot of damage. Not really, actually. It does do a lot of damage. My mistake. Also, the artillery is now focusing this big clump of soldiers down. Really smart move as more and more infantry do push up. Lots of flaming spells coming out from both sides. At the gate as well, we are going to have a Phoenix being poured out and being reborn as he just comes flying down here. Ripping through quite a few of the lines. Yeah, hitting quite a few units as well. Another Pit of Shades by the looks of it being cast back in. The fight for the wall has now begun. We're going to have the Sea Guard and the Spearmen trying their best to push back the forces of the Bleak Swords. And then they're holding a pretty nice line there. Obviously the Sea Guard are looking to retreat. And this is smart. Not just like throwing away your units on the gate. It's going to obviously help them out pretty heavily. They also have a few archers set up like around here. So as soon as the gate is lost, these archers are still going to be able to help out. And that's exactly what they are doing. They're starting to shoot off some arrows now, which is going to be great. How is the battle for the gate coming along, actually? So pretty decently, actually. They've piled in a ton of soldiers here. There are like a lot of spearmen and also white lions here. There's also a nice little siege there as the Hydra tries to break his way forward. The Bleak Swords making their way first, and then the Hydra will follow suit. We do have a pikeman here. We're going to be able to keep the enemy at range, but again, if this is like a pit, oh, it's a fire breather right there from the War Hydra. The 5 heads just unleash a brutal fiery breath. How are the archers over here? The archers over here have just been demolished by the looks of it, by the artillery maybe. Oh, wow, what a huge skull. That is going to do so much damage back here. Oh my god, look at that. I imagine all these units are full health. Where did that mage even manage to cast that from? Oh, wait, up here, so Boise turns up. Wow, look at this. The aerial squad have a turn. We've got a sun dragon, we've got a moon dragon, we've got some phoenixes and some eagles. The eagles are here. I was not expecting that. I didn't even know they were on the field of battle. The aerial force have arrived to relieve the defences. Wow, that is impressive. Look at them just pour in. And they're going to be able to just descend upon these guys and do a lot of damage to these units. That's pretty insane. If we look at the balance of power, obviously it's still in favour of the attackers. But the units are pretty equal right now as we have all these aerial units pouring into the battle itself. And I feel like the High Elves, they've got a really sturdy defense right now. Now, obviously, their numbers are going to start to dwindle. And when the force of the Dark Elves start to push in their elite units, it's going to be hard. Especially on this left flank as well. You can already see this left flank starting to crumble. But with all these aerial units as well, that's going to be hard. We're going to really need some... Oh, that was a brutal... That's friendly fire right there from the battery. That just opened up the way for the Dark Elves to move forward. We don't want no Ramsay Bolton here. Oh, the aerial units, oh, they're not even engaging. What the hell? I thought they were going to descend upon these guys, but I guess when more reinforcements turn up, probably not the best idea, as we get a huge bombardment spells coming down. Lots of archers going down on the Dread Spears. Archer fire is still just pouring down on these guys.
The cowards attack from afar.
Are they doing? What do you mean? You shoot your crossbows from afar as well? But yeah, definitely over here on this left side, the gate force does look like it's starting to dwindle. We obviously also have these white lines here. Not doing the best job in the world. Nice little flame spell right there. I think the Dark Elves really need to try and just break through at least some of these defenses here. So at the moment, the longer they stay in place, the more damage they're going to take. They need to kind of like smash through these defenses and just pour into the city. That's when they're really going to start taking the advantage, I think. Holding in the choke points just makes it so good for the forces of the Dark Elves. I mean, but looking at advanced power, there's still over 10,000 soldiers in this engagement still. How's this side force doing? Side force is just slowly making its way up, waiting for a better time to approach. I mean, I think that he should have definitely deployed some soldiers around this left flank here and use these guys to like break round the defenders right here. Because imagine if 2 units, even just 2 units made their way back here. They could have done so much damage. Oh, we have a really nice artillery setup right here. This battery is going to be shooting over the defenses and just hammer down on the attackers. Oh my god, look at that. That is so awesome. Does look like, imagine just being a commander up here and you still got all of this to kill. The Hydra coming in and doing a lot of damage with that flame attack. Okay, we'll go back down to the battle lines, see how the soldiers are faring. The artillery, though, that's that battery on the Glory mod, I think it is, just does so much damage. Finally, there are some elite units up here. So we got the Khan Chosen up here now, and he's gonna just rip through these guys, especially with a crossbow fire as well. So once they start breaking these walls, I think the Dark Elves are a much easier time of it, because again, a lot of the archers were like situated down here, and if they can just kind of ruin these guys, I need their dragons to really descend upon like the archers over here. And nice, it's a good move here as well. It's very smart, sending over at least some sort of aerial unit to take these guys out. I think they were really wounded from all the magic that was being cast. And then just moving in, just like a weaker sorceress or something to take it down is very a smart idea. Is that Morathi? That is indeed, yeah. So sending her in to go deal with them archers. Well, but look at the artillery just going back and forth as well. If this dragon comes in range, the Dark Elves need to focus it down, because the dragons can just do so much damage. And finally, the gate does look like it is starting to crumble. As them white lions say, they are overcome. The forces are being overwhelmed. The Hydra is running amok back here, killing off whatever remains. The artillery is pouring into the city, and this is where the Dark Elves can start doing work. This looks so good. The cinematic camera like this, when you get a black bars, just really zooms in on a set area, and it just looks so good. The city is definitely under siege right now. Can the Tower of Hoeth hold? That is the question. Some of the Courtiers are making their way in. Now, the Courtiers are really good because they can go ahead and do a large amount of damage to infantry, as they are obviously anti-infantry. Taking out this artillery piece will also be really, really smart. And I mean, the majority of the deaths or the casualties from the forces of the Dark Elves have been on their weaker units, right? They're only just now pushing up their anti-infantry, which are kind of like their tier 2 infantry. And they still have all of these super elite units still left to be pushed into the city. You know, there are still so many men left, so even though it looks like the High Elves managed to do a large amount of damage, it was mainly on the really, really bad units, which I don't think the Dark Elves really cared too much about losing. And now they can really start to push the fight into the forces of the Dark Elves, or into the forces of the High Elves, sorry. Again, that looks so dope. Hopefully they've saved a lot of winter magic. And I think we are going to be getting some of the forces of the Shades over here. Oh yeah, they're going to be making their way up. Murder's Prowess has just popped as well. Maybe a little bit too late. It would have been maybe nice for this to pop a little bit sooner. These guys are going to be shooting away at their hand crossbows, trying to take down as many of these white lions to soften up the attack a little bit. Which is pretty smart. Yeah, it's unfortunate that Murderous Prowess popped now, because if it would have popped when they were fighting at the gates, then I think that could have done a lot more damage for them. Whereas this is kind of a little bit, not like useless, but they're only really fighting a couple units as the Cauldrons of Blood makes its way in. I love the way how it's just like holding a heart. And the Elves are in full-on retreat. They're going to be dispatching a few units around this right side to help their shards. Or shades, shards, their shades. And I guess there's going to be a lot of forces being poured into the city now. Making their way in, ready for the next assault. So cool, what I'm going to do... Oh, no, actually, maybe not. What I was going to do is I was going to cut it till there's a bit more action going on. But at the moment, we can see that Morathi is actually taking a lot of damage. The repeater bolt throwers just come in and try and shoot these eagles out of the sky. Unfortunately, not doing, like, any damage to them whatsoever. The Griffin Riders, my mistake. I think they need to be on the single shot. But now all these crossbows can shoot up, they're going to retreat back. So yeah, cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to speed it up and then cut it to when the more forces are inside the city and we're ready for the final assault. But if there is any action, I will make sure to bring it back. So don't you guys worry. We will obviously be seeing all the glorious action. Okay, guys, so it does look like that the forces of the High Elves have decided to make their way out of the fortress over on this right-hand side, make their way down the glorious red carpet, and try and assault these shards and these great weapon units over here. It does make sense because obviously they're taking a lot of damage from crossbow fire, so they kind of at least want to get themselves engaged so that maybe there's a bit more friendly fire, or even just allowing them to take down more of them before they get in, because they can either decide to sit there and take it, or push forward and try and get some damage. Now what the Dark Elves could do is just kite back. They have so many crossbows, it doesn't really matter, and they're definitely doing a ton of damage to these guys right now. Just so many arrows pouring in on such a concise point. And they also have this huge amount of reinforcements making their way over to this side, which again is really smart. Splitting up your forces so that you come in at 2 different angles is going to give them a huge bonus in this battle. And you can see them making their way in right now. They are also starting to funnel in their more elite units. This does now mean that they are in range of the artillery, and as you can see, the High Elf artillery is still coming in thick and fast. However, is it close to running out of ammunition? It is close to running out of ammunition, so once these guys are spent, that's going to be kind of good for the Dark Elves to then pour in. They are now making their way in with more forces, dispatching them left and right. Over on the left-hand side, they're still clearing out like a little bit of a resistance. There's still some pikemen, there's still some of these white lines with shields, however, for how much longer, I do not know. I imagine as soon as some more elite infantry turns up, they can easily clear this up. And then start making their way round to this corner and then up the huge staircase. This is like a death trap right here. Just up the staircase, round all these choke points. And I wonder how many archers do the... Okay, so the High Elves have what? 1, 2... 3, like 4, maybe 4 missile units left, which really isn't a lot. Oh, also, look at this. I never actually noticed this before. I guess you like make your way up here somehow? How do you make your way up here? Oh, is it over here? Oh, okay, yeah. So you have to, oh my god, this is a staircase of death. My god. This is going to be brutal to try and assault. There's just so many like twists and turns up here. And this is like the final stand up here at the tower of Hoeth. That's really, really cool as well. I love the way we got a floating rock up there. All of these defenders up here. What's this unit right here? The Everqueen, that's kind of cool. Some wood elf bullocks that have come to support the cause. And we obviously also have all of these archers as well right here. These shadow warriors. So yeah, we've got a few wood elves coming over to help out in the defense. Maybe they live in like these trees or something. So you can see more reinforcements are now pushing up. We do have some Sisters of Avalon here. They're going to be hammering away, and they do a lot of damage. Do we like magic damage at all? Oh, it doesn't say for some reason, but well. More of the archer fire coming in. We also have a dragon, or actually a mage on a dragon over here as well. And we also have a Lawmaster. So we could see some nice regeneration spells right here, which I think will desperately be needed. Griffin Riders are down here. A lot of the Griffin Riders are really low, and they're actually going to be routing very soon. So once the Griffin Riders go, that's going to allow a lot more of these forces to push up, and we do have more reinforcements making their way up. And the High Elves are deploying a lot of soldiers down this gate right here. Banter power is still extremely even, but you got to kind of think about it that the High Elves have spread their defenses. So the Dark Elves are attacking with everything they've got, whereas the High Elves aren't. The High Elves are attacking with a portion of their force at a time. So the advantage definitely does fall in the favour of the Dark Elves right now, in my opinion. But obviously they've got to go through all the choke points, up all them stairs. Oh god, we're demonetized now, boys. We are demonetized now. How are they doing on the left flank? Have they managed to break their way forward? It looks like a lot more units have now made their way into the fortress. Still not pushing up here yet. This is going to delay them massively. Yeah, they're being held up by like a couple units, which is really unfortunate. These white lines of shields are not giving up this choke point easily. Even with executioners at the front, holding them at bay. The executioners just having such a hard time to cut through these guys, and really they need to cut through that sink. They need to deploy a lot of these soldiers. And it does look like they're going to go hard for a right flank. I guess maybe they see that they don't, and that makes a lot of sense actually. This is actually quite a good tactical maneuver. They're not going super hard at this point because this is literally a death trap and there's so many soldiers over here. Whereas if they can take this right flank, this is pretty open, you know. Once they've taken this, they have access to all the way around back here. They have access to all the positions like to kind of attack these archers. They can go ahead and kill all this artillery. And they almost bypass a lot of soldiers. That's why you're seeing all the Dark Elves just commit all of their men over here. You also have Marathi actually routing from the field of battle. Yeah, so I think this is one of the reasons you're seeing the Dark Elves kind of committing a load of troops over here. They're trying to kind of spread out the defenders, which is pretty smart. Yeah, a Vortex spell going down here. I mean, this must be brutal though for these Vortex spells. It's going to do so much damage to everyone running up here. The longer the skull goes, the skull is a pretty long one as well. That's just going to hit everything. It really is. We are going to see one of the Star Dragons going down by, I would imagine. I mean, look at that. That could literally go down from the top of the fortress down to the bottom, which is pretty insane. More archers right now. These archers just have a perfect little view of the field of battle. And you can see they are making good use of it. So unfortunately we can't see their stats though. Because it'd be great to see how many, like, oh my god, look at the arrows from the Sisters of Avalon. We then also obviously have the Highborn Nobles back here. And then we also obviously have the Dragon Princes. Not Dragon Princes, but Dragon... What are these guys even called? I've seen these guys before. Dragon Guard, yeah. They look amazing. Definitely hands down one of my favorite units for the High Elves. So I'm surprised that more dragons haven't gone down yet. There seems to be a lot of damage on both sides. I mean, the High Elves are literally running down the red carpet now, looking for battle, which is pretty impressive. They're just going to simply try and cut their way through whilst their archers do work, which is not a bad idea. Have they finally broken through on the left flank yet? Yeah, finally have they broken their way forward. Now, this is going to be an interesting bout now, because they just basically have executioners on this left flank. And in their way isn't really a lot of elite units. They have just some highborn spearmen, which are okay, I guess. You know, some Seagull, some Golden Company. Like, a lot of these units aren't like super top tier. You know, just got some Shadow Warriors back here. Whereas they're coming up against a lot of really elite units. So if these guys can get themselves engaged onto the executioners, that's great. However, the executioners are going to be taking heavy damage from a missile fire. You can already see their HP starting to go down from all this arrow fire. Also just hear a dragon there in the background somewhere. Because these guys have no shields to defend themselves, these arrows are coming into their side. They're going to be taking a lot of damage. But as soon as they get into combat, that's when they're really going to be excelling, I think. And it's just more getting in there. We also have these set of dragons fighting the Frost Phoenix. Now, a Frost Phoenix will tank and it will hold the line for a long time. We have Malekith up there as well. The Highborn Spearmen are trying to hold the line now. Oh, actually killing quite a few of these guys on the charge, but they honestly just need to get themselves stuck in. And they'll easily cut through these spearmen eventually. They're also kind of just forcing these guys to go out of control, which is really good because it means that they can't retreat. Over on the other flank, we can see the force has just been annihilated. I think the Dark Elves just don't have it in them. I mean, they have a lot of elite units left, but the High Elves are just pushing and pushing and pushing. They've done a great job at keeping these guys at bay. Even the War Hydras are struggling. Obviously, most of the High Elf Spearmen have anti-large. And again, just look at that in the background. I think that's one of the things I love about Warhammer 2 so much, is that the backgrounds look so good. Like, most of the time when you're on the campaign map, whether it's in either Vortex or in the Multiple Empires, you can almost always see the vortex in the distance, and I think that's just so cool. But that just goes to speak of the sheer scale of the vortex. You can see it from halfway across the world. Red carpet is being definitely made bloody. I mean, maybe that's why the High Elves chose it. Maybe that's why the High Elves chose the bloody carpet. Or a red carpet, sorry. It's so that when they do a battle here and they do die on it and they slay their enemies on it, they don't have to then get it dry cleaned. They can just leave it. It just gets a darker red. This side of the fortress is so laggy. I honestly don't know why compared to the other side. The other side is fine considering how much stuff is on this battlefield. So by the looks of it, are making their way through. The Sisters of Avalon are going to be kind of annoying to cut their way through. Or Sisters of Avalon, the Ever Queen units. And they've actually managed to do a pretty decent job of it though. Yeah, they're really the handmaidens of the Ever Queen. So this is good. They've moved up their dragon. The dragon is going to get beaten back by, I guess, from all the archer fire. However, I wouldn't count the High Elves out yet. They still have a lot of soldiers left to push in. And they could even decide to move some units around the flank here. Because I think the High Elves have actually brought back all their units here. And if they could just get, if they had some cavalry or something to make their way up here, they could hammer all of these archers who are so ill defended. Is there still troops up here on the final layer out of interest, or have they still got all of these units back here? My god. Yeah, the balance of power is definitely starting to shift in the favour of the High Elves.
The Oath One!
But it's going to be interesting to see what happens when the archer fire ceases, you know, when the High Elves don't have any missiles left. Because like all the quality is still left in the forces of the Dark Elves. They still have all their elite units, which is a smart move, you know, kind of allow the weaker units first to kind of take a lot of the missile fire, do the dirty work, and then move up these more elite units. Now, there definitely could be an argument made that it's always good to throw up elite units first because they can cut through the defenses a lot quicker, meaning that you're going to be taking less damage because you're going to be, you know, taking the walls much quicker. Dragon fire right there. Where did it go? All the way up here. It's going to be hitting these highborn nobles. Pretty much just clearing out a massive square of them, and then going to have to reform. Reform the line! Gotta imagine having to step over your burnt brothers. That'd be pretty brutal. Yeah, these guys are cutting through the highborn nobles so quickly. Whether it's the missile fire or what, they are making mincemeat of these guys.
Order must be maintained.
And the fact is that they constantly get out of control, so they have to stay there and fight.
Slaughter all!
These guys are shooting a few arrows, but not too many. Over on this side, more and more elite units are being pushed. Now, it's not a bad idea as well. I imagine this is why the High Elves, the Dark Elves are doing it. Is they're allowing these units to be pushed up and not just throwing everyone in. So you don't clump up for spells, you don't clump up for arrow fire. They're just sending up a few units to hopefully absorb a lot of the missile units. But they can send up their executioners in a little bit, which is definitely not a bad idea whatsoever. But as I said, just one unit of like cavalry could do so much damage. And yet it does look like they're forcing these High Elves to actually reposition their men. Because they're kind of losing this position so quickly. And is that everything in the city now out of interest? Yeah. Literally almost everything is in the city. There's 8 minutes left of this battle. If you guys have enjoyed this, please make sure to go ahead and drop a like and a comment down below. And obviously also go over to the custom map and all the maps that we used in this battle. All the mods that we used in this battle. Make sure to go drop a like on that. It really helps our modding community. So make sure to go do that. So we do actually have a general up here. We have Tyrion up here. If they can kill Tyrion, that's going to really, you know, negatively affect the morale of these units. There's not many of them left. It's just out of ammo, pretty much Shadow Warriors, which I can't imagine do too great in combat against like Executioners. A couple Highborn Spin, which we've already seen just get annihilated. Do still have another unit of these archers up here, the Sisters of Avalon. So that's going to do some damage, but they are starting to run out of men, and they're having to deploy more men over to that left flank, or maybe they're just retreating upwards, which wouldn't be a bad idea either. As now more and more Executioners make their way up. Balance of power though, the High Elves still have almost 3,000 units, whereas the Dark Elves only have 2,000. They have their elite looking Dragon Princes up here as well. Or Warriors, the Dragon Warriors, sorry.
Our bloodlust fades.
And the Phoenix Champions as well, who are like an elite group of like 12 men. The archer fire is just relentless. I don't think it's stopped. I think there's not been an arrow in the sky at any point during this battle. Just constantly keeps coming in and doing so much damage. You can even see some of the men in retreat right now, trying to fall back as best they can. But then, like, you know, once the Dark Elves get through this, they have to fight the noble spearmen, and then obviously some more Dragon Guard as well. It's just such a tough battle for them. Yeah, finally some Hydras managed to make their way in there, fighting some of the Shadow Warriors. Really get to see what they're made of. Is Tyrion retreated out of interest, or is he in this fight? I imagine Tyrion has fallen back. I can't see him on the field of battle. Oh yeah, there he is right there. Also, this dragon obviously came back from routing and is just being killed. Unfortunate. Yeah, there you go. The dragon does go down. Falls to its death, unfortunately. And again, you can just see how quickly these guys get melted. But again, there's... Oh yeah, here we go. Finally, they're starting to move men around the flank. This is really smart of them. However, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make it or not. There's only 5 minutes left. Like, I imagine a lot of their forces are just going to get simply wiped out. And maybe a mass rout will incur. They finally managed to make their way up here. It does definitely look like the High Elves do have this engagement just because of sheer numbers. And the archer fire again is just endless. Endless stream. If only the Dark Elves fought in the shade, maybe they could have survived. And this has been a bloody battle, you know. Just think about it, like 20 minutes ago, we were brutally fighting over the wall over here. So many dead just laying here. Especially on the advance as well. I mean, just look at the piles of dead bodies on the approach to the gate itself. You know, even up here on these like defensive points, so-called defensive points, the stream of dead. And when we go up here, you can just see there's just piles of bodies. As they cut their way through these lightly armored Shadow Warriors. And then on to the next one, and then the next one. I mean, this is what the High Elves have going for them. They just have so many layers of defense, so many choke points they can hold. And I feel like the Dark Elves just don't have enough aerial units to really assault these guys and soften them up. Because now that they've killed them, they can move on to the next one now. And then when they cut through these guys, they still have to then go on to the next one and the next one. I think it's going to be really telling whether or not the forces over on this flank can make their way around. They're taking so long to come, and I just don't think they're going to make their way. Only 4 minutes left. By the time these guys get up here, the battle is probably going to be over. I mean, they are starting to break through here, but again, there's just so many elite units still left remaining. The Eagle Bolt Thrower crew moving up. We have some archers making their way around just to reinforce this side. Sisters of Avalon have retreated back. I mean, they are going to break their way forward. But again, as I said, there's so much archer fire still going. And Malekith is going into the depths of the beast right now. All these archers should just turn around and just pepper Malekith. We'll probably be able to melt him. With archers of this high quality, they should just turn and just hammer him. Maybe just send your dragons after him or anything. Because if you kill him, I think they win the battle, right? We have Tellus up here as well.
Forest spirits will drag you to madness. Kane calls.
And some of these guys, this one unit's run out of ammunition. There's only a couple more shots left on a few of these guys. They continue to pull their arrows in. More arrow fire coming in over on this right hand side again. It's whittling away. You can even see some of the Dark Elves starting to full on rout now. I think that's what we're going to see in the next 2 minutes. It's just a mass rout. I mean, they're going to try their best, but I just don't feel like they're going to succeed. But it's been definitely a good show from the Dark Elves. They have proven they are sturdy warriors today, thrown many lives against the Dark Elves. I just feel like this back assault, which is, you know, still coming around, just arrived far too late. And if that would have maybe, you know, arrived at the beginning of the second assault, then maybe they would have been able to hold the line. More reinforcements are being pushed over here as more artillery comes in as well, which is pretty insane as they prepare for the final stand. Over on this side, more arrow fire is coming in. Again, is Malekith is literally just chilling up here. Someone just kill him. Anyone. Oh, it looks so cool as well. They'll tell us at the altar of the tower. Looking very cool indeed. Yeah, you can see the HP and the morale just dropping heavily for a lot of these elite units. And once these elite units go, they're going to obviously affect the morale of everyone else. Because a lot of these elite units do actually kind of keep the morale kind of high. And they have the encourageability and aura buffs. So once like these like special units start to die, I think we're going to see the morale just really start to drop. I mean, already it is kind of low. It's already at half on this right flank. I imagine the left flank is very much the same. Yeah, as I said, you can see this assault is just coming far too late. Malekith is somehow allowing to still be alive up here. I don't quite know how. More and more routing coming in. Take a little overview. You can see how far they've actually made it. They made it pretty decently into the fortress. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough with this reinforcement coming up and then the rest of the soldiers coming round. And I think there we have it. I think that is going to be the battle right there. Yeah, all of this left flank is completely routing now. Hardly any of them left. The executioners are going to be fleeing for their lives very, very soon. There we go. All of these guys routing. And that's just going to be a mass rout right there for the forces. Yeah, look at that. All are routed over here on that left flank. And I guess this kind of rear assault, yeah, just turned tail and ran away. Wow, that's a lot of units to rout, but they did rout indeed. That's impressive. That was a really, really fun battle. Thank you very much for the Discord for sending it in. And now we can take a look at some of the kills. So, Dragon Mage, almost 350 kills, or over 350 kills. Very nice indeed. Some of the Sword Masters. I imagine that the Archers are going to be the real MVPs of these forces. Yeah, you can see so many of them with over 100 kills. Really, really nice work right there. Then looking at the Dark Elves, again, obviously the Dragon Mage, again, getting 300 kills on the other side. Then looking at the Dark Elves, Morathi and her mages doing kind of nice with over 100 kills. The Executioners doing decently. I think the main problem was that there just wasn't enough kind of aerial units to take care of the missiles, which was unfortunate. However, this Hydra getting almost 200 kills, and this unit right here, the Chosen, getting 238. Very, very nice. So cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. Once again, a big thank you to my Discord for sending this in to me. If you guys want to be a part of these battles in future, just go down into the link in the description, join my Discord, and then just ask for the tag which notifies you when people are looking for people to play battles with, whether it's arena, any Total War game, or anything else. There's always people looking for games, so make sure to join. Also, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. I'll see you guys next time, and fish out.